Hey, welcome to another episode of the Freight Trapping Podcast. Um, I gotta do some adjusting to my camera. It's a little blurry. I don't know why. But yeah, welcome to another edition of the Freight Trapping Podcast. I'm your host, Mr. James Roberts. Um, man, it's been a long weekend. Seems like our weekends are always long with your 2-year-old when you're trying to get them to a certain steps. So this is what I'm going to do. Let me see something. Y'all hold tight real quick. So in the truck, while we try to get this camera to adjust, and in trucking this week, I ain't really had my ear to it too much. Um, I hit a couple of brothers up on TikTok and on YouTube that I seen, like I told you last week, that I really I hadn't really been following any know truckers, and I don't like sipping on anybody's information or what they do, but I do think it's important for us to kind of piggyback off of one another and and kind of you know give our advice, our take, not necessarily to tear down, but to uplift. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I just don't want it to get to the point where people believe and start thinking that you're trying to tear them down, um, take away from what take away from what they're doing. Um, and things are just kind of. Uh, hold on, y'all. I can't do this. I got to get this camera straight. Hold on for a second. Hold on for one quick second. All right. I guess we're gonna have to roll with that. This is the cost that you pay in do it yourself. Cost you pay when you do it yourself. All right. We back. Let's go, y'all. Let's go. I'm not gonna worry about the camera. Uh, Video is going good. I mean, the audio is going good. If at any point you guys hear me starting to static, let me know. Last week I was staticking so bad. Man, I wish I could have caught that. Man, I wish I could have caught it. I was on the wrong side of the static last week. Wrong side of the static last week. I hope you guys had a good weekend. I hope you guys had a good week. Hope you guys um, got some positive things going. I hope you guys um, had some nice rates, had some nice moves, hit your goals, did what you supposed to do, what you wanted to do, accomplished everything that you wanted to accomplish, and I just hope overall everybody got back home safe. You know what I'm saying? There's always a saying in trucking, hey man, come back the way you leave. Come back the way you leave. So I hope you guys got yourselves back home safe, and you guys are good. And you guys are good, man. That is my hope. I met a driver. I forgot his name, but uh, he was in the truck, and we were at a stop, and it was a truck that I never seen before, and his name I can't remember his name, but the name of the trucking company was Trenton Trucking out of Chicago, Illinois. And I just want to shout out to that driver, man. If he listening, and I just had a real quick conversation with him about some things, and I just want to say, man, appreciate you talking to me. Seem like a real cool cat, man. And once again, I will explain the podcast. And my sign says in the back of me, think about doing things differently. So when you think about doing things differently, you're basically saying that it's more than one way to skin a cat. So just think about doing things differently. Think about doing things different. Um, think about the way you approach things. I mean, this is life. This is a life lesson, but especially in trucking, rethink about the way you do things. Rethink about the way you approach situations. Rethink about the way you handle uh, people, co-workers, drivers, workers. Think about how you talk to your owner operator. Think about how you talk to the shipping personnel. Think about how you talk to the broker. Think about how you talk to the dispatcher. Please rethink, retool, uh, all of that. Just have a different thought about how you do things. And so that's just kind of like a life lesson that I always like to reflect on, and because doing things differently uh, makes a lot of difference. Make a lot of difference. So our topic tonight of discussion, I want to talk about substance abuse in trucking. Um, it's it's hellfire right now. I mean, I've ran across so many articles with people, drivers getting shut down uh, for drinking and driving, for uh, marijuana use, for even transporting, you know, substances. So I want to talk about it. I want to talk about it. Let's talk about it. And uh, we gon' we gonna talk about some things. We're gonna talk about some awards being given out. And I want you guys to be aware of them because these are awards to where if your kid or your child is in a position and they're extremely academic, this is a way to get them to college. I'm not gonna give my take on college. I'm not gonna give my perspective on college, because as you know, um, I'm a big proponent of having more than one iron in the fire. So, and what I mean by that is you can be a doctor, lawyer, RN, anesthesiologist. Um, you can be all of those things that require you to have a lot of secondary education. But at the end of the day, you always have to have something to fall back on. You always have to know how to lay tile, know how to work on a car, know how to uh, be a mechanic, know how to cut hair, braid hair, do makeup, um, put on eyelashes, put on eyebrows. It's always wonderful to have that trade. And I didn't even realize that they're taking a lot of the trades out of school. Man, when I went to school, you had kids leaving our high school on a bus going to the vocational high school, which was uh, probably about 8, 9 miles away. And it was another high school, but it was the only place that they had uh, beauty and barber college. I mean, school. You had auto mechanics. You had body work. They went over to that school and pretty much learned the trade, learned the trade while they were in high school. But trades are important, and I wish I knew. I think outside of trucking, trucking is also a trade because you don't have to have a high secondary degree to get into trucking. So for me, it's a skilled trade. Um, but you can go to you can go to a school like HCC Lone Star, and they can teach you how to drive trucks. And what that does is it gives you up a hand on. It takes the place of you not having. Let's talk about that for a minute. It takes the place of you not having the experience that a company needs in order for them to feel comfortable hiring you. It gives you the experience you need. Now, it's some downfalls to some of the trucking companies that offer schooling. But see, their schooling is not like the schooling at HCC or at Lone Star. Their schooling is the same as our academy, where you have trainers in there. They're certified trainers. uh, and they help you get your CLP, just as our academy does. They help you to learn how to maneuver the truck, just as our academy does. Um, but with HCC and Lone Star, those hours you spend in that class can go toward your degree because um, their um, instructors are accredited. I mean, they're accredited, meaning that they went through college and taken a course or courses that allow them to be certified, and they've taken the test to be certified to say, "Hey, I'm an educator in the field of trucking. I'm a trainer." Being an educator and a trainer are two different things. A trainer just simply means that I have the experience, I have the know-how, and I can train you on how to maneuver a truck, drive a truck, train you on how to offload, load, and all of that kind of stuff. That educator, well, I'm not gonna say they can't. Some educators can't because you do have guys that retire that go into the educational part of trucking, and they have that upper hand when it comes to um, educating, because now not only have they went and got the whatever book knowledge that they have to teach them, where you go through all of the courses where you learn mostly all of the what you need to teach a student how to be proficient with their trucking in trucking. They go through and they take their course. So what I'm saying is this: you can go and be a part of a trucking school, a trucking academy. The reason guys do that, and the reason I would tell somebody to do that if it was me, is because it gives you a upper hand on getting placement into the job market. Because you gotta understand something, that you're not gonna find that job or that good paying job or the job that you want with just getting your CDL. It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. I am so sorry. It's not gonna happen. You have to basically know someone, know someone, know someone. And the way I got into trucking, and over 15 years ago, way over 15, maybe 18 years ago, um, I didn't go to a trucking school. I didn't go to an academy. Well, it wasn't an academy. It was like CDL Express. And so it was like, when you say CDL Express, exactly what it is. You got your CLP already, and all I need to do for you is make sure you know how to maneuver the truck, and I can tell you then. And I think they give you like 2 or 3 weeks to do that. I think they let you train in your truck, in their truck, maybe 2 or 3 weeks or 2 or 3 times. And after that, they tell you, well, you ready. So go make your appointment. Let me know what it is. I'll drive the truck over there so you can take your test. Right? So that's what I did. That's what I did. I went and got my CLP. Went to one of those express schools, to where it's not really a school. It's just it's almost like a rental truck. You know what I'm saying? But you also paying for a little bit of their knowledge to let you know, hey man, I think you're ready, and that's what you need. You just this is not like going and getting a car license. So you want someone with that experience. even though it's not the educational or the book part of trucking, but it is the on hand, on the job training, as they used to call it, OJT, uh, from a trucking academy. And so that is one way that you can get into trucking, is go that route. But nowadays, it wouldn't be. It wouldn't be. It is still effective, but you would have to get with someone, like find someone in your city, like an academy, like we have, that we offer you guys. It's not an express. It's not an express. It's a timed period for you to learn. Uh, we tell you how long it should take you to learn to maneuver the truck. Uh, if you was to come in and get at it, we just don't say, okay, yeah, you ready? Come in with your CLP and we get you moving. No, we don't do that. What happens is, uh, what happens is we assess you, and then we say, hey, this is the phase you need, and this is how long that phase is going to take. And we never give our guarantees, but we're almost certain that if you apply yourself and do and understand the truck itself, you'll pass. So moving on to the schooling part of it, I think it's impressive. I think it's you have to go into an academy or into a school for one purpose, and this purpose is opportunity. When they see that you went through a HCC, a Lone Star, um, uh, any other school that educates you, I think Swift does it too. But in order to get into Swift, I think you have to have, once you're completed and you're under contract with them for a year, and I I ain't gonna even say nothing about that. I'm not gonna say nothing about that. But getting under contract with somebody that you've went into schooling, unless you've just paid out of your pocket, you've paid everything you all of the fees that you needed to be. I mean, you needed to have. You just paid out of your pocket, and you're good. And then you can move into gaining your experience, going through HCC, Lone Star, Swift. Um, I think it was Stevenson, and I even think Knight has one. I don't know. I'm not sure. But if you can, man, pay those fees up front, straight out of pocket, no financing, nothing. Because at the end of the day, that'll free you up to do your own thing. If you want to go buy your own truck, start running for yourself. That will free you up to do that. Going into allowing those schools to pay for your trucking, you'll be under contract for them for a year. That will take away whatever they said you owe for going to their school. But if you go to HCC, Lone Star, you're not going to be under contract. That's just like you going to college. You got financial aid, you got a grant, you got a Pell Grant, and you may owe a portion. That's fine. But when you get out of those schools, what happens is if I go apply for a trucking position and I put that school down, and they see that you've went through that school for 3 to 6 months, and it just wasn't the express type thing, they'll be like, okay, we'll give you a chance because you have that certificate. You have that certificate of completion from accredited school. Accredited school. So that's the upside to going through HCC. Now, with some, when you get into trucking, some guys be like, man, I can't wait no 3 months, 6 months. Man, I'm trying to get into this now. I don't want to be left behind. Man, take your time. Take your time, young man. Don't rush to get old. Because you will have the opportunity, you will have the chance to uh, get all of that done. You'll have the opportunity, believe you me, you will have the opportunity to make your money. So it's a process. It is a process. Now you can go the other route, go get your license, go to see an express school or express business, use their truck, and those that's good because some people go to jail, have a CDL, stay there for a year or two, get out, need to reestablish themselves, and all they need to do is get a refresher course, get back in the truck, and go take their test because they still have the knowledge, they still have the know-how, and so uh, you do that, and then you try to get into the work market based off of your experience before you went to jail. So, so it is so many lanes in trucking. There's so many ways to get into trucking. There's so many ways to uh, get trained, uh, become a certified uh, CDL holder. There are so many ways to do that. So just figure out what's the best way for you. I just think that going through the schooling, like I said, helps you to go in, put the school down as your experience, and they give you opportunity because you've been educated. The next thing is, um, it's just a matter of preference. It's just a matter of preference. How you want to do it, when you want to do it. You know what I'm saying? What your lifestyle calls for, uh, and all of that. So, new truckers, you know, never driven a truck. That was just some advice from me. Uh, don't go in and ask somebody who's been in trucking for 20, 30, 40, 15 years if a rate that someone offers you to come in and drive their truck is a good rate. Don't ask us that because we're going to talk to you from our experience. Now, me, I'm kind of cognitive of when you ask me that, and you say, well, I've been driving trucks for 2 years, a year, whatever. Uh, I'm cognitive of that. And so I'm going to tell you, well, don't expect to get paid on a 15, 20-year experience uh, type level. You're just starting out. You have to build up to that. And don't get me wrong. You have, I was in situations when I got my truck, when I first got my license, I worked for owner operators. And man, I made good money. People always say, man, you making him rich. Man, you got to start somewhere. You have to start somewhere. You have to start uh, you have to begin your experience. You have to start your trucking experience. And you have to be able to allow time in the process and you learning and you making connections in the industry. Just don't look at it as, oh man, I'm 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 I'm, I'm only getting 30 cents a mile. Well, I wouldn't drive for 30 cents a mile, but I'm only getting 45 cents a mile. I'm only getting 50 cents a mile. Yeah, but you're building your experience. You're starting your experience in trucking. And guess what? Hey man, you don't have to you can stay there 6 months. You can stay there a year and say, hey man, I'm about to move around because I want to learn another facet of trucking. I want to do something else. I want to do it's a process. Getting your experience is a process. And we all have to go through processes. It's life. That's life. You have to go through a process. You have to go through a process. So when you're getting your license, man, just understand you're not gonna start off at the top. There's an entry level to trucking. Just because it's a trade, it's a skilled trade. And companies, owner operators, shippers, brokers, carriers, they're looking for experienced, skilled CDL drivers. They're looking for skilled CDL drivers because they know that sometimes you can just go in there and you do what you do to get your license, and you've been having your license for 6 months, but you haven't been driving for 6 months. Only thing you do is have the CDL on there. Man, how I look putting you in my truck and you don't have 6 months of verifiable or even a year of verifiable uh, experience driving the truck. Man, are you crazy? I'm not finna go on a whim unless I trained you myself. Unless you did ride alongs in my truck yourself, right? So just go through the process, man. You'll get there. You'll get there. It took me 15, 16 years to get where I am right now. '08, man, '08, from '08 to about 12 or 13, man. That was the worst time period in trucking, bro. Rates were super low. You couldn't find a good rate because everybody was just eating what they could. You had guys running 600 miles and getting paid, coming home with $200, $300. But that's how bad trucking was. That's how bad trucking was. So you got to go through some pitfalls. So let me get on another topic real quick. Now, like most of us, we have kids and we want them to be educated, go to school, whatever. So this article says TCA awards 160,000 in scholarships money to 57 college students. Now TCA is the Truckload Carriers Association scholarship fund is pleased to announce is providing financial assistance to those financial assistance to those uh, recipients in its 48-year history for the 21-22 academic school year. 57 undergraduate college students with ties to the trucking industry have been awarded scholarships. Each student will receive a scholarship ranging from 2,000, 2,700 to 6,300 from a total of 163,000. So why is that important? Because if you have a college student, an undergrad, And they said in transportation, tied to transportation industry. That means your daughter, you're a trucker, your daughter or your son can apply for one of these scholarships. TCA, Truckload Carriers Association. You can apply. You can apply for to get some money for your kids. And why is that important? That's important because everybody need help. Everybody need help, especially in college. Especially in college. Man, I know that I told my daughter, I said, where I work at, they offer scholarships to high school students coming out of high school. And I told her to get ready. She was in the eighth grade. I say, man, you might as well get ready because we need to have you in a position to where you can get some scholarship. And it starts now. It doesn't start when you in the 11th or 12th grade like it did for us. Most of us in the hood, it started when we was in 11th to 12th grade. We got ready to get out of school. Then they start saying, hey man, you need to start focusing on scholarships. But see, today is different because now you have STEM programs in some areas where they're exposed to it. Because I told my daughter about it. They have coding programs. And let's talk about coding for a minute. Coding is essential, especially in this AI, artificial intelligence world. Everything is becoming autonomous. They're even trying to put autonomous trucks on the road, which they're saying by 2025, 2030, they're going to have some autonomous trucks on the road. Machines, warehousing, manufacturing, autonomous. And so what that means, what does that mean for us to be replaced by machines? Guess what? It takes coding for those machines to do what we as humans need them to do. Now, the reason for the machines is because they can produce it at a faster, higher volume than we can. We need breaks. We need lunch. We need to go home, check on our families. We are human, right? Machines are not. They can go and go and go and go and go until a gear, a fan, or whatever breaks down. But they can go and go and go. And that's why you have machines. That's why you have the that's why you have the the desire for machines is because they can go and go and go and go and go. So everything is trying to go autonomous in the autonomous world. But see, I don't know. I don't know about that for a truck. But as you know, when somebody has an interest in something and they want to put it into effect because it's in their interest to have it, right? They're gonna make it happen. They're gonna make it happen. And they're gonna make it make sense. So what I'm saying is get your kids into these programs. Machine coding. I know a lot of people talk about game coding. Yeah, but the machine codings, as I heard a brother explain on Kwame Brown station, those that machine coding will have you coding locks to the doors. It will have you coding uh, 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 to where you can turn your lights on and off from your phone, where you can have your AC control from your phone. That's all machine coding. The gentleman was explaining, and that's where our kids need to be focusing in on is machine coding. It's the future. And we got to be aware and understand if we want our kids to have those educations, man, we got to start helping them prepare them right now while they're 11, 12, 13, even younger than that. But at that point, when you hit 7th, 8th grade, then your focus should start, okay, let's go find a program where he can begin to understand coding or she can begin to understand coding. Let's get them into a program where they can understand numbers and and start begin to let them start working on their academics so that we can apply for all of these different scholarships in trucking. Yeah, yeah. Hmm. Hmm. Yep. So that was that. Let's get our kids into this stuff, man. Let's expose them to it. Not pushing them. Not saying, well, I'm no, they need a little pushing, but not being so overly aggressive to where they still can't be kids. Cause kids still have to be kids. They still have to have fun. But I also let them know that hey, I need you focused from 6 in the morning to 4 in the evening. I need you focused. After 4 to 12 or 11, you good. After that, you gotta go to bed. But let's get them focused. Now, now, on to some news. In today's news, uh, in today's news, there's an article from July 12th of 2020. Trucking news. Alcohol violation leads FMCSA shut down trucker. Oh, stop, man. I ain't got no news voice. So, but the article reads, a trucker has been effectively shut down by the federal government after he was charged with an alcohol-related violation while driving. The FMCSA last week declared commercial motor vehicle driver Robert L. Webb to be an imminent hazard to public safety, thereby prohibiting him from operating any commercial vehicle in interstate commerce. Webb was served the federal order on July the 2nd. On June 28th, Webb was stopped by Delaware State Police for a load securement violation in Newcastle, Delaware. So here we go. He was pulled over by the Delaware Police for a load securement violation. Now, what does load securement mean? It's just how it sounds. His load wasn't secure. So either he was in a flatbed to where they could see it. Maybe he was in a tanker and one of his caps was hanging off, wasn't secured. I can't say he was in a van because you can't really see the load in the van. Maybe he was hauling some lumber. But at any rate, what happened was maybe he was hauling oversized. And they seen that his load wasn't secure. Maybe a chain was hanging off, was loose. Maybe a binder had vibrated loose, and they seen that. For whatever reason, for that reason, for whatever he was hauling, they pulled him over. And when they pulled him over, they went into, I guess, field sobriety, or they smelled liquor or whatever. But I'm focusing on why they pulled him over. Load securement. I did a video and I uploaded it to my YouTube page. You can go check it out. I also uploaded it to my TikTok page. Talking about load locks on the vans and on the on a different type of load locks. Where they should be. You got, how you have different levels. You got the locks, the notches running all up and down the trailers. And then for those who don't have notches running up and down the trailer, and then you may have a load that sits in between the notches. You have load locks that are like ratchets that push them out, they hit the wall, and then you ratchet them tight so that they're secure up against the wall. And I also talked about how us as drivers, we don't look out for one another. Maybe some drivers seen him going down the highway and his load was unsecure. Or maybe he was that driver that's so arrogant and he says, man, you can't tell me nothing. We don't know. All we know is that right now, that gentleman has been put out of service, out of commission. He cannot operate a commercial vehicle. Period. Now let's find out why. Let's find out why. Why can't this man operate a vehicle anymore? Let's find out why. Let's find out why. On June 28th, he was pulled over for a load securement violation, during which detectives detected the smell of alcohol coming from Webb. Webb was transported to a Delaware State Police Department where he was administered a series of sobriety tests and breathalyzer tests where it showed a blood alcohol level of 0.254. Wow. Where which is 6 times the legal limit for commercial motor vehicle operators. Additionally, upon searching Webb's vehicle, troopers discovered an open 12-pack of beer in the sleeper, with only 2 remaining, and an open steel cold beer outside the box. So this brother was just totally disrespectful. I'm talking about totally disrespectful. Not only now I've seen truckers that they're shutting down for that 34-hour reset, and they're in the trucking parking lot at a Love's or a Flying J, and they got barbecue pits out there, or the little pit out there, and they're out there relaxing, and they're not going nowhere for 24 hours or 34 hours, and that's the same thing as if you and well, it ain't the same thing, but it's the same thing. You're off duty. Now, would they prefer you not drink? Yeah, of course. Would I let them see me drinking? Oh, hell no, no. Not at any time would I allow them to see me, drinking. Cause you do know alcohol is one of the most abused substances there is in the world. I mean, even bigger than cocaine, marijuana, all of that, because it's not prohibited for use, right? So you could do it and not be, but, but these are the type of people, these are the type of truckers that will begin law enforcement and FMCSA into looking into how to stop this type of stuff right here. This is the reason why DOT law enforcement gets in your truck, is because of people like this. People like this make it bad for top of the line professional truck drivers who, while at work, do not engage in abusive behavior like this. Nobody care what you do on your free time. Don't nobody care about what you do on your downtime. And I'm not going to say whatever it takes for you to reset, but be mindful. But if you have to have a little sip, man, why do it in the truck? This man had a 12-pack, not one beer, not a 24-ounce, not a 12-ounce, not an 8-ounce. They said he had a 12-pack of beer in the sleeper, and only 2 of it was remaining. So you done knocked out 10 beers, well 9, because they said he had one he had one open, still cold, I guess inside the box, or sitting. He was drinking and driving in an 18-wheeler. He's drinking and driving in an 18-wheeler. Bro. Substance abuse is bad in trucking. It is. Trucking is a very demanding uh, occupation. I'm telling you, man, it is very demanding. High pace occupation. There are so many um, how can I put this? There are so many uh, lanes. There are so many things that you have to do to prepare yourself for a move, to prepare yourself to get from one place to the other, prepare yourself to move a load, to prepare yourself. Bro, it is a lot goes into that. Starting with your home life. Starting with your home life. You you almost have to be as well rounded a trucker as a pilot. I used to call myself. I used to always say, man, I'm in this cockpit when I was driving over the road, and still to this day, I look at it like me being in the cockpit. My job is so sensitive to people around me that I'm almost compared to a pilot on the ground. Because do you know how much pilots have to go through before they can even get in the air and drive a plane? Some of those guys be co-pilots and aviators and traffic signals. That's why you have three people in a cockpit. Because a pilot can do all of that at one time. It's too much. So their job is really sensitive because if they don't understand turbulence and if they don't understand flight patterns and if they don't understand that you have to be at this altitude so that you won't hit a jet stream and lose control, because it's not only your life on the line, you're carrying other people's lives on the line. Other people's lives are on the line. And that's how I look at it. Even though other people are not in the truck with me, other people are all around me. And I would hate for someone's family to get that call that a driver has ran into a pummel plowed over your family member. I think about my wife, my kids, how they be out there and trucks all around you. I just want trucking to be safe, man. I want truckers to be smart about it. I want truckers to be safe about it. I want truckers to understand that you are you are the top of the line driver. And don't get me wrong, I get pissed off, I get mad, I get frustrated at those guys, four wheelers that we as we call them, uh, four wheelers, as we call them, uh, at those guys at the four wheelers, as we call them, for jumping in our lane, or they just jumped in front of us just for the hell of it. You know what I mean? But to be in a truck with a 6 pack of beer, a 12 pack of beer with two left. Was it that serious? To have that drink at that moment, was it that serious? To have a 12 pack of beer, have one open, and have two left, was it that serious? Hey, see that just like it's just like when somebody breaks into your home, they get you for not only the burglary, but the what if? What if the homeowner was on home? What would you have done? Would you have killed them? Would you have abused them? Would you have beat them up? What if? And see, that's what's going on here. What if you couldn't? You had a strenuous situation where you had to make a decision quick, but you couldn't because you're inebriated because of the 12 pack of beer. What if is what those guys are saying? It's what FMCSA is saying. What if? It's cold, bro, because like I said, everything that they report about, it's an interest group somewhere constantly trying to make it safe on the highways for their families. And when you run across articles like these that show you that they're right to put all of these laws in place against cutting down our drive time and making us take a 30-minute break every 8 hours, and uh, you can't do you no longer can do a 2 34-hour reset in 1 week. This is why right here. Because of drivers like this, I don't care where he was. When something in trucking happens in one state, it moves to the next state. Don't nobody say, "Oh, that happened over there. It ain't gonna happen over here." No, they use that. It's just like in the courtroom. When I'm trying to win a case, I cite other cases that have been won that are like mine, that are similar to mine. I'm finna use that case. But check this out. This was Webb's second driving under the influence offense. On March 10th, 2014, Webb was convicted for driving a motor vehicle under the influence of alcohol with a BAC at over .04. This cat here, he's a repeat offender. He don't care about public safety. He don't care about his job. He don't care about his career. Second time? See, people like that is why people who make mistakes in personal vehicles. Say, for instance, you got a DWI in your personal vehicle. You know that goes against you as well in your with your CDL. It doesn't matter if you're using a personal. As a professional driver, all your traffic violations go against you, whether you were in the truck or in a car. This is this dude's second violation with driving under the influence in a motor vehicle. I'm sorry, in a commercial motor vehicle. Mm, come on, man. Two times? Come on. Mm-mm. FMCSA imminent hazard out of service order states that Webb's operation of any commercial motor vehicle in interstate commerce substantially increases the likelihood of serious injury or death if not discontinued immediately. State of Delaware charged Webb with operating a vehicle, possession of alcohol, and in violation of federal regulation for improper load securement and failure to remain in a single lane. So they pulled him over because he was swerving and his load wasn't secure. This dude here all kind of crazy, man. I thank God that he did not. I'm just thankful that he did not kill anyone. Mm-mm. Nope. Not worry about him. I'm glad he didn't kill anybody's family on that road. Mm. I'm glad he did not kill anyone on that road. And I thank God that they stopped him. I'm glad that they stopped him from uh I'm glad that they stopped him from hurting anyone else. Man, the abuse is real, man, in trucking. It's real. And he got caught. He got caught. And in a truck. That's what I can't understand. Bro, you couldn't wait. That's a sign of bad alcoholism. That you could not wait until you got home or until you got to a rest stop to where you could have continued and just chilled out. And did, man, oh my God, man. So many things that could have went wrong, bro. There's so many things that could have went wrong with that. So many things that could have went wrong with that. I ain't got nobody in tonight. I'm just talking to myself. We just going on and on. But it could have been, and it could have been so bad, bro. You know, could have been worse than what it was. And so I just want to say, man, please, if you're one of those drivers that take those type of chances, bro, don't do it. Please don't do it. I have a wife, I have a son, I have a daughter that I want to see come home. I want to see come home. I want to be with. I want to talk to. I want to get mad at. I want to have arguments with. I have a family. Bro, don't do it. But the abuse is real of alcohol and of other substances, but mainly alcohol. The abuse is real. Ain't nobody don't care about what you do in your downtime, but to do it in, but to do it at work in a highly sensitive environment, not only to you but to everyone else. It ain't no good, man, and it ain't no good. And I like to, and we need to talk about it. It's something that needs to be addressed in trucking. It's alcoholism. Do that need to be a law? And it already is a law. You can't drink and drive. Get EWI. It already is a law. Whether you in a CDL or you in your own car, you can't drink and drive. But do we need to have, and most jobs have training on, there's a zero tolerance for drinking and driving on the job. Zero tolerance for drinking on the job. Zero tolerance. My guest we had on last week, man, got some wonderful news. It's not mine to tell. I wish they was on here, to tell it, but hey, it is what it is. It's a Sunday. People have things to do, places to go, and I understand that. But like I told you before, I could sit here, talk to myself all night. I just bring a few topics that you guys need to know about. That you guys need to know about. And you know what I'm gonna do? Hold on right quick. Hold on right quick. Yeah, I was looking for something, but I can't find it. By a gentleman, man, that I liked. He was giving, even giving some pointers. I'll bring it up next week because I really wish that I can get him on here so he can tell his own points. But if not, I just kind of go over it myself. I always like to contact the creators of the content that they put on these different sites. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't ever want to be like I'm, just taking advantage of whatever, whatever. But yeah, man, I mean, I could sit here and talk all night and just talk about trucking and whatever it is, I feel like expressing story after story and all that kind of stuff. But I just want to do this and have the lines open and let the truckers know, let the dispatchers know, let brokers know, let shippers know that hey man, even right here where I am, um, you got a voice, your knowledge, your content it is very much appreciated. It's needed. We can talk about it. I'm not a huge platform. Uh, by no means. I don't claim to be a guru of anything, but I do like uh, getting information out in trucking. So, guys, that has been my time. We don't have anybody in the chat. I would have liked to linked up like we did last week, but maybe next week we can do that. Maybe sometimes things happen. People got stuff to do, and that's fine. But I've talked about what I wanted to talk about. Um, I brought a little information, some insight, hopefully on CDL schools, getting your training done. And hey man, y'all be blessed, stay peaceful, keep that left door closed, and get home the way you left. This has been the Freight Trapping Podcast. I am your man, Mr. Freight Trapping himself, James Roberts, and we'll talk to you next week.